Dennis Wolf versus Flex Wheeler, a very interesting fan request. Now, this goes along with the theme of the tier list. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, over there at Project Bodybuilding, starring Dylan, or otherwise known as Dillion, we're doing a tier list, or we did a tier list, and it was guys like Dennis Wolf and guys like Flex Wheeler. Could they be in the top 20, or are they wedged out? It's very close between a lot of bodybuilders. And when they competed in different decades, I don't know. It's very difficult to even compare the two. The criteria, things of that nature were so much different. But we're going to give it an old-fashioned college try today. 2007 here, Dennis Wolf. Very aesthetically pleasing when you compare him to other versions. 1993 for Flex Wheeler. We are also going to have a look at two other versions. I'll show you in just a second. Sizing is going to be an issue. Dennis Wolf, I think he was maybe even taller than advertised. 5'11". Looked like he was 6 feet or taller. But either way, Flex Wheeler, I don't know if he was as tall as he used to say. I think he was about, 5'9"? Or is that what he says? I don't know. Either way, people are going to say, you got the size off because Flex Wheeler's quads are not that big. I'm here to tell you right now. Dennis Wolf, known for massive quads. Maybe a shorter quad development. So maybe it makes those quad sweeps look a little better. But Flex Wheeler, keep in mind, he stood right next to Ronnie the King Coleman for years, and his quads did not look small next to the King's. So a little bit of respect for the size of Flex Wheeler's quads. And the arms as well. Flex Wheeler, incredible. Very aesthetically pleasing. And yes, Dennis Wolf, he did look good in 2007. He's not as, what you would say, a pretty physique as a Flex Wheeler. I mean, I don't think any physique is. But ultimately, Dennis Wolf is a great big old hunk of wrought iron just right next to you. And it's hard to defeat this guy. It's like a big, stiff pile of muscle, is what Dennis Wolf was. Now, fast forward to both of these guys. Best versions? Maybe. Maybe those other two versions were their best. But I think it's an interesting matchup. Because Flex Wheeler, not as pretty as he was in 93, but man, was he big. Huge. Those arms were already big, and there wasn't too many sights back in 93, from what I understand. But clearly, wow, he is massive. Dennis Wolf, he looks a little bit more worn out, I think. More conditioned than he was in 2007. But in this matchup, I think aside from, yes, the enhancers and the arms, we're gonna say Flex Wheeler might win this one. Keep in mind, I have zoomed in on those calves. And normally it doesn't make a whole big difference, but it does. It does. Not to mention, a little unsymmetrical in those arms. Of course, if you start talking arms, the Dennis Wolf fans, and hey, I like Dennis Wolf, but I'm going to call it like it is. I think Flex Wheeler might get an edge in the front double using these two versions. Of course, 93, very aesthetic, but so little next to a great big '07 Dennis. So somewhat inconclusive when you use both versions, but that's two opinions, I guess, using two different matchups. Now here's the front lat spread. What are we even talking about here? Dennis Wolf is so much better than Flex Wheeler. It's not even funny. Not a very clear shot maybe in that front double. This is from a photo shoot. And is round and bubbly as Flex Wheeler was. Nice big quads, for sure. But Dennis Wolf is about 9 times more conditioned here in 2007 than Flex Wheeler was here in 1993. So if you're using '07 Wolf versus 93 Flex Wheeler, Wolf, so much better. It's not even funny. But that's just the first two shots. Now let's have a look at 2013 Wolf Olympia versus 1999 British Grand Prix. Did I neglect to mention that? 99 British Grand Prix, massive flex wheeler. But this is just a wolf pose. His V-taper, this is one of the best front lat spreads of all time. Calf excluded. I mean, Dorian Yates. If they're going to look similar beside each other, yes, in that case, the calf does make a difference. And yeah, Flex Wheeler, he was rumored to have something going on down there as well. But what we don't know, we can't really speak upon. But Flex Wheeler losing from the front, in my opinion. Turn to the side. And I don't know what my editor was thinking on this one. But, I mean, this is 2 or 3 different pictures of Flex Wheeler all taped up together in a weak attempt to size this correctly, which it's not. It's not sized properly. Dennis Wolf, I would assume, would have a bigger quad from the side. Well, Flex did have big quads, but here in 93, I mean, it is what it is, folks. So, inconclusive. I don't think, honestly, one guy would be dominating over the other. Let's see what we can do or figure out from 2013 versus 99. Those arms are a little too big. And being suspect, Jimmy rigged, slapped on clay, aside, even if they were natural arms, they're still not as aesthetically pleasing compared to the chest on Flex Wheeler. Whereas Dennis Wolf, he brings a pretty nice package there. Nice hanging hamstring, I can tell you that. Free of charge. So, I'm leaning towards Mr. Wolf coming out of the front, coming out of the side, because there is no side tricep of Flex Wheeler. Unfortunately. Now go... it's over. It's done. Dennis Wolf wins this one. The back shot, the first of the two. Rear lat spread, are you kidding me? Flex Wheeler, I made him taller, yes, because Dennis Wolf is bending at the knees. But if that's your argument, I mean, does it matter? Flex Wheeler's losing. Dennis Wolf is a beast. Maybe not condition, but, well, maybe even condition. This is the Olympia version of Flex Wheeler, keep in mind. No good rear lat spread from the Arnold Classic. He was a little more shredded at the Classic. He was, but I don't think that would make a difference. Wolf would be beating him. He is the Wolf of, was it some street or something? I forget, there was a movie or something. 2013 versus 1999. Oh, this is the Olympia. This is not the British Grand Prix. Something going on with my editor. We will have a little talk after. I just don't think there was a good rear lat spread from the British Grand Prix. There is one old blurry screenshot, I think, but useless. I honestly think Dennis Wolf, he's just too conditioned, and he's too darn big for Flex Wheeler. Not to mention, more conditioned as well. Here's the back double. It is a bodybuilding competition, not a beauty contest, I guess you could say, to a Flex Wheeler fan, because I'm sure there's going to be some Flex Wheeler fans that are going to say, oh, Flex Wheeler, he's so much better than Dennis Wolf. Realistically, guys, he's not. He's actually pretty striated here for Flex Wheeler, though. This is at the Arnold Classic, 1993. Not the Olympia. He was a little more conditioned. Wolf, not bad. Not bad at all. Probably should have got a higher placing than 5th, considering he was so big. And not bad condition either. So Flex Wheeler not faring very well at all against Mr. Wolf. And when you use their more futuristic versions, and yeah, sizing's, it's out the window. You can see Flex Wheeler, the camera's way down low. Makes his legs look huge compared to that upper body. His back, perhaps, not as thick in the lat insertion area as it was in 1993. So perhaps if he had worked more on his condition and back development itself, maybe he could have beat Ronnie King Coleman with the sweet genetics that he had. But ultimately, Oh, and here is the abs and thigh. A pose in which you could, I believe, give to Flex Wheeler? I think I would. I think the abs are perfect. And he has the feathering in the quads. Of course, Dennis, he has massive big quads as well. Maybe not as feathered, interestingly enough. But the abs versus abs, yeah, you're going to go with Flex Wheeler. Now, watch this. Now, Dennis Wolf, certain shots, his midsection was way better in 2007, but also in certain shots, the opposite could be said. Wolf had a pretty tight midsection when he wanted to, when he stayed away from those cookies. And Flex Wheeler, I don't know if you would call this a gut. I think he's just really carved up. Probably tossed a couple of pizzas in there, buckets of chicken, burgers, maybe a big cinnamon bun. Oh, I think I would like one of them cinnamon buns. You know who likes cinnamon buns? Let me know in the comment section below who likes big cinnamon buns. Anyway, the most muscular. Oh, wow. Wow. And this is with all due respect to Flex Wheeler. He was one of the great ones. Absolutely. But I mean, guys from the 70s couldn't compete with guys from the 90s because the evolutionary growth of bodybuilding, it doesn't stop. And that's what's happening here. A guy from 1993, he's just not going to be able to compete with a guy from 2007. And here's your 2013 versus 1999. And he sure was big, wasn't he, Flex Wheeler? This is not a form-fitting pose, by the way. And when I speak of the evolution of the bodybuilding, I firmly believe in that. Absolutely. Hey, I could be wrong, but I'm telling you right now, there are certain specimens, of course, like your Ronnie the King Coleman. Eventually, and I know you guys are going to think it's blasphemy, but eventually, there will be a genetic specimen again come along, and evolution will take hold. You'll be bigger than Coleman, better, bigger anyway. Because Arnold back in what? As far back as the 60s, he competed, and his physique wasn't overtaken till probably, arguably, the 90s. 93. That's a long time, guys, so it's not going to happen every year. And here's a crab position to end this one off with. I do ramble on, but the history of bodybuilding, it'll never get old. Actually, it gets older every day if you think about it. Hit thumbs up on the video. Let me know. Do you think I'm wrong on this one? I firmly believe that it's not a situation where it could go either way. Dennis Wolf ranks higher than Flex Wheeler on the tier list. Absolutely. So go tell Dylan over there at Project Bodybuilding. He likes it. Loves it. Have a great one, folks.